Hey, what's going on, Gemini? Here's your weekly love reading from August 26th to September 1st. Remember, guys, that this is just a general love reading, so just take what applies, okay? And regarding the energies and messages that do apply for you, they can switch upon any given instance regarding you and the person in question for you this week. So the best thing to do, Gemini, just to apply that specific energy and or message to either you or the person in question for you this week. And also, cross-watchers, apply the energies and the messages within the same manner, okay? So, Gemini, you come into the reading this week with the 10 of Cups reversed. And the cards that popped out for you are the Sun card, the 5 of Swords reversed, the 9 of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. So maybe you could be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, possibly. So for your partner, the person in question for you, they come into the reading with the 7 of Cups. And the 4 cards that popped out for them, the Justice card, so maybe you could be dealing with the Libra possibly, the Ace of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords, and the Queen of Wands reversed. Maybe could be dealing, like I said, with the fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius possibly this week. Okay, Gemini, I'm being guided to start with the person in question for you this week. Usually I start with the sign, but let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm feeling for your partner, the person in question, Gemini, they were, there's something here that has to do with like them being confused or them being kind of not being able to choose a direction or not being able to choose an avenue to go down. I'm feeling something to that effect. They were definitely having some confusion kind of going on. And I'm feeling like, Gemini, I'm feeling like this is maybe a second or third time around. A lot of signs this week have been getting like trying again, which is not an issue. It's just I'm seeing this theme coming up. So I'm feeling like maybe for you, Gemini, this may have been a second time around, a third time around, possibly maybe for some of you. What I'm really feeling is like for the person in question for you, it's like they wanted to like redo a wrong or make a wrong into a right, something to that effect. Like justice needed to be served. They needed to kind of like they needed to correct something to sit well with them. I'm feeling, and I feel like an offer was given or taken. I feel like it was maybe given more, maybe to you possibly, but this offer I'm feeling maybe wasn't authentic all the way. Now I'm not saying that it wasn't authentic at all, but I'm feeling like it was authentic up to a certain point. But I'm feeling like throughout the relationship, they found themselves kind of like, kind of coming up with things in their head and maybe accusing you of doing things that you weren't, accusing you of like possibly stepping out of the relationship. I'm kind of getting here. A lot of things were like in your partner, the person in question, it was in their head a lot. They were in their head, like just thoughts are going over and over and over and over and over. And you were kind of like, what are you talking about? Like you found yourself saying that a lot of the time. I'm kind of feeling here. And I'm feeling like with these ruminating thoughts for them, that's when the dynamic of the relationship changed in terms of like they would, Gemini, it's like they would come up with these thoughts in their head and they would like be so real to them, you know? And then they would like switch their approach with you. And I'm feeling like the approach ended up being kind of very debilitating. The approach ended up being very like, very rough. Like there was a lot of ups and downs I'm feeling in the relationship. Like in terms of like one day they were okay. The next day they weren't. Then the following day they may have been sort of okay. And I'm feeling like I said, throughout these ruminating thoughts, that depended upon how they approached you. And it was kind of like you didn't know what was going on half the time. Because it was like, you didn't know when you were going to wake up, if they were going to be good, if they were going to be happy, if they were going to be sad, if they were going to accuse you, if they were not going to accuse you. And I'm feeling like you guys would talk about a lot of things, or maybe talk about certain things about the relationship. I'm picking up a lot of talking about being loyal and infidelity was a lot of what the conversations were about. And I'm feeling like they were maybe tainted from a past relationship, or they would just come up with these things in their head. And you were just kind of like, whoa, what? like that. Like it didn't make sense a lot of the times because it wasn't happening. I'm feeling like whatever the case may be, but it was something to that effect. And then they would then trying to like assert their power over you, maybe possibly, where then they would maybe say, well, if that's not true, then do this for me. If that's not true, then do that for me. And it was a lot of like, you had to like prove yourself. And it was a lot of like, they would use their power over you to try and get something out of you that possibly wasn't even happening. I'm feeling here. Now, regarding you, Gemini, I'm feeling like over time, you realized that there was no commitment, no emotional commitment, or no emotional, like you guys couldn't reach each other or come to the middle in terms of emotional resonance with each other. Like it was just, like I said, all over the place. And then I'm feeling like light was shed upon certain areas of your relationship, where then you were kind of like, Gemini, you were kind of like, you were trying to like prove to them that it wasn't what was happening, And then I feel like that's when you kind of, it was like a lot of like servitude, where you were kind of like, well, I'm not doing that. So then you wanted to prove to them that you weren't. And I'm feeling like throughout that process too, you were trying to like I said, to prove to them that it wasn't what they were planning in their head. I can't even like get my words together because I feel like that's what it was a lot of the time. Whatever it was that you were trying to, show them that it wasn't, that you ended up not standing up for yourself. You ended up not kind of, ended up like compromising yourself throughout the situation where you didn't want to seem like you didn't want to do it because you didn't want them to think that they were right in terms of what they were coming up with in their head, where you were kind of like not wanting to be selfish along the way as well. So you wanted to just show them what they wanted to hear, like to prove that what they were thinking was wrong, I hope I'm making sense. And it's like, it helped the relationship a little bit, I think I want to say, in terms of it may have helped them kind of like install trust back into you. But then you kind of felt like jaded at the same time, kind of like, well, I mean, I'm not doing any of this, so why am I constantly being questioned because of that? And then throughout this process, you were compromising yourself along the way, And then I feel like then that's when you were started to come up with things in your head. It was a lot of communication with mind games I'm feeling kind of going on here. Like I said, you were proving that it wasn't going on what they thought was going on. And then that's when I feel like you had the switch when you were like, wait, but are they doing that now? Like it was kind of a lot of that, Gemini. I'm feeling like you were approaching it like that. But I'm feeling throughout the process too, you were trying to oblige them. You were trying, like I said, trying to give them what it is that they wanted. But at the same time, that's when you finally realize, well, I'm not getting any commitment here. That's why you come into the reading with the 10 of Cups reversed here. Because it was like you were kind of coming to the conclusion like, well, I'm giving, showing you that it's not like this. This is not happening. But then they weren't changing, And I feel like it was something new every single day. It was kind of like you were like, what the hell is going on here? Like it was like situations were coming up like that. And it was just very confusing a lot of the times. And I feel like they were confused how they come into the reading with the 7 of Cups here. So it was like they were confused and then they were making you confused, and you were just like hopping from one foot to the next, like trying to just appease them. And all in all, it was just like, it just didn't work out. I'm feeling like a lot of confusion, not getting a lot of closure. I'm feeling throughout the relationship as well. Interesting. Sorry about that, Gemini. So at the bottom of the deck for you, you got the Death card. So maybe could be dealing with the Scorpio possibly. And yeah, exactly. The 6 of Wands reversed underneath that. So yeah, it was like you were trying to show them, Gemini, that what they were thinking was not actually going on, that it wasn't. So you were trying to transform the relationship so that they understood you better and you understood them better. But it turns out that what ended up happening along the way was that you guys further didn't understand each other. And then you guys didn't know what each other wanted throughout the relationship. And yeah, it was just a lot of like, You were trying to transform things. You were trying to change things up, trying to take the relationship to the next level. And it just wasn't working, I'm feeling here. You guys lost a lot of respect for each other, I'm feeling, along the way as well. So for your partner, the person in question, they got, the Death card reversed. So maybe possibly could be dealing with the Scorpio. And the Two of Pentacles reversed as well underneath that they got. So they were not feeling balanced. The relationship wasn't feeling balanced. There was an even amount of give and take. They didn't want to transform the relationship, I'm feeling. So it was like they didn't want to change their way so that then you guys can find some equilibrium throughout the relationship. But because they kept maybe accusing you, or they kept fathoming up these things within their head, that then you feel like you couldn't catch up. You know what I mean? I think that's why then you guys further didn't understand each other, and then the relationship may have just severed because of that. And that's why there was no emotional commitment throughout the relationship. Sorry about that, Gemini, to give such a reading here for you. But if you guys would like to book a personal reading, check the description box below. There you'll find my contact email, our Facebook page, and also a link to Facebook Messenger to reach me down there as well. Do me a favor, Gemini, if this reading resonated with you, go ahead and tap the like or thumbs up button to let me know. Also, feel free to comment, share, and to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, or if you aren't subscribed. And also make sure to tap the bell as well to turn it red so that you guys can be notified of immediately notified of any new readings that I upload for you guys, and also if I'm ever live in the future. All right, Gemini, this is kind of tough here, but equilibrium will come when it's meant to come, and things will turn out the way that they're supposed to, Gemini. So just have faith in the process, okay? All right, Gemini, we'll see you next week.